Welcome to another chapter of one of the 81 chapters of the Tao Te Ching. Here we're looking at chapter 13, Finding Equality at the Extremes. It's oftentimes we will look at something and we don't see it as equal, right? Like success and failure, which is something we're going to look at in this verse. Success often seems like the thing that we want, and yet failure is the thing that we grow from. And so if you were to ask yourself, well, what do you want in terms of growth and stuff? I think failure and challenges are the things that we're going to look for. And yet when we get challenged, we often try and divert our attention from it, or we don't face it with as much gusto as we do when we start looking at success. So let's get into this and see what we have to share today. Finding equality at the extremes. To succeed and to fail are equally undesirable. Creation and destruction are equally present within us. What do I mean by to succeed and fail are equally undesirable? The more success you have, the more you protect it by hiding failure. The more you associate with failure, the more you embody it. When neither success nor failure is identified as the destination, being becomes the objective. What do I mean by creation and destruction are equally present within us? Having a body and a mind with which I identify gets me involved in the manifestation. The manifestation convinces me of my actions, and so naming them, I both create and destroy, neither of which are unique. To see yourself with indifference, you will have faith in all things. To see the world with indifference, you will be able to care for it all. Earlier, in one of my earlier verses, we talked about the idea of not caring. And this is what we're bringing up here when we start talking about indifference. Seeing yourself with indifference, not caring about success or failure, they're equal, but they're equally undesirable. You don't want either. You want to be. The more you can allow yourself to be, the less you're going to focus on this moment and what this moment has to offer you and all of those sorts of things. We're going to go through this again, just briefly, a couple of the points, because I really do like this one and do like a lot of the points that it's making. So first of all, what do I mean by to succeed and to fail are equally undesirable? The more success you have, the more you protect it by hiding failure. Let's look at that. When you have success, how much do you hide your failure? I can't tell you how many people I've known in the recovery world who got some internet success and then hid the fact that they were using again and ended up dying. That's undesirable. They had a lot of success, and that success ostracized them from being able to be honest. And that's unfortunate. Now, failure. The more you associate with failure, the more you embody it, the more you start to identify with it, right? Like all of this is about the manifestation. Success and failure are all part of the manifestation. Neither of those things are actually happening, but you're experiencing something and then defining it as such. When neither success nor failure is identified as the destination, being becomes the objective. See, when I'm doing these, I'm not looking at success or failure. I don't care. I don't check them very often. And I'm not really looking for people to watch them. But if they do, they do. If they don't, they don't. I'm just doing them because I love the Tao. I've been reading the Tao for near 20 years, and it has offered me so much in terms of my recovery as well as in terms of my life in general. I really love the things that the Tao has shown me and that I have embodied. And so that's why I do this. And it's not about success or failure. If you watch it, I'm grateful and I hope it's helpful for you. But whatever I offer you is for you. Whatever you do with it is yours. I don't care. Once again, like we talked about earlier. Now let's move on. What do I mean by creation and destruction are equally present with us? Having a body and mind with which I identify gets me involved in the manifestation. So very simply, I have a body and mind. Those things exist in the manifestation. they can't exist really outside of the manifestation. We actually have to shut those things down in order for us to feel connected outside of the manifestation. The manifestation convinces me of my actions, right? So the manifestation tells me that I'm doing the right thing, and I have an ego, and I'm like, this makes me feel good, and I'm convinced that my actions are making sense because I have stories that are around them, and I did this and you did this and this made you react, and I taught you and I was taught by da 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 da. All of this manifestation telling me that my actions are good or bad or right or wrong or whatever they are. But that's all just lost in the manifestation. It's not real. I mean, we know that. We know time and all of our experiences are just constructs. So seeing as we know that, why do we continually try to have success or be right? Why don't we just be? And then we can have this experience no matter what it is. And so naming them, I both create and destroy. So the manifestation convinces me of my actions. And so naming them, identifying them as good, bad, right, wrong, whatever, I both create and destroy. So I've created this identity and I destroyed my being, neither of which are unique. Not my being, right? But my ability to be in this moment. Now I have, compartmentalized something separate from everything else. So I create and destroy, neither of which are unique. To see yourself with indifference and to see all your actions with indifference and to allow yourself to be indifferent to yourself. You will have faith in all things. You'll have faith in what other people have to offer. You won't try and prove them wrong. You won't try and be like, well, you're wrong, I'm right. And this, like, I have to prove myself and I have all of these things that I have to do because I see myself as better. I see myself as special. I see myself as all of these things. But no, none of that is true. See yourself with indifference. Don't care. And you will have faith in all things. You will have faith in the fact that everyone else is going to find themselves just like you have. To see the world with indifference, you will be able to care for all things. So then if you can see yourself with indifference, then you will have faith in the things that other people do. That faith and other things are, it's not just people, but it's everything. You will have faith in the weather. You will have faith in, how the globe is warming. You will have faith in the fact that this is all good somehow. This is all working towards a bigger goal. I mean, maybe not good, right? It's not good. It is. It is being, and you are allowing yourself to be. To see the world with indifference, like not saying like this is good, this is bad, this is right, this is wrong, this is just what it is, and I can see it that way, you will be able to care for it all. When I work with clients and stuff, I always kind of make sure that they know that I don't care what they do with this. What's important is that they become more aware. And then I can just be in this space of caring for them without having to care about what they do with it or care about how they do it. Caring for somebody and caring about what they're about or what they're going to do or all of that. Those are very different things. To care for someone is to allow them to do what they're going to do. But you first have to see that with indifference or not caring. When we create beauty, ugliness, and that's something we're going to come across shortly in these verses. Ugliness is created just by default because we identified something. Once we identified one thing, well, the other thing is going to be not far behind. There's equality in those things. Can you see the equality in them and then not care about either? That's what we're like. This is the sort of indifference that we're looking for. We're looking to be indifferent about what happens. We're just going to have this experience, allow ourselves to be in this experience. Thank you so much for joining me for another chapter of the Tao Te Ching. This was 13, Finding Equality at the Extremes. Thank you so much. And until next time, keep recovering yourself.